dashboard hula girl.
We got one of
Mr. Bryton Stoll there. Let's see if we can't get him over here on the big show here. There we go. All right, brother, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Good morning.
Real good.
We're always surprised when technology works, I got to tell you. Usually we're flying by the seat of our pants, and we're as happy as you are when all of it works perfectly. Bryton Stoll, everybody, joining us for Sunday Mornings with the Tiki Man. And first of all, congratulations on the new baby, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Your life is over. Some say it's just beginning,
we're getting there.
It'll never be the same.
It'll never be the same, I should say, you know, but so that's, I was playing Landlocked Sailor earlier, and I remember the first time we had you on when that first came out, and man, a lot of things have changed for you since then.
Yeah, tell me about it. It was funny just that around the same time that I discovered the world of trop rock and tropical music was also about the same time that I met my now wife, now co-parent.
Yeah. Bottle helper. Yeah. No, that's cool, and I was thinking too that we never had you in the lineup for the showcase down in Key West, but you've played it a couple of times, mainly because Mike Nash would throw out his voice or couldn't be there or whatever, which was always a happy surprise, and we got to get you in the lineup down there sometime.
Yeah, we were just reminiscing about that yesterday, funny enough, because we were sitting there thinking, once again, we're pretty convinced that we were I think we were down at the brewery on the waterfront having lunch, and Mike called and said, "Hey man, can you play this thing in like 30 minutes, an hour, whatever?" And so we started walking down to your guys' setup, and it started pouring.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're still convinced that Mike did not throw out his voice. He just looked at the forecast.
Yeah, and that's exactly how we played it. We actually said, as we introduced him on stage, Mike couldn't make it today. He couldn't get his hair wet. He's trying to grow his hair back out, and he's got hairspray and everything in it, so he couldn't make it. So, but we're glad to have Bryton Stoll on stage today. That's exactly what we said, But
funny.
We got to get you down there. And of course, we have the ready rooms upstairs now for private events. And that's something you might want to look into. They're all booked up this year, but it's really cool. It's really like flying first class up there. It's a private room, holds about 25, 30 people with an air conditioning and a private bar and private bartenders and all that stuff. And you charge at the door, and you get to keep all that money. So that's a way to do it.
That sounds really cool. I'll have to look into that. I got to get myself down to Key West again.
Yeah.
I didn't make it last year, and we'll see. We'll see how far I make it out anywhere this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
You're a little busy.
The baby is going to dictate everything from here on out. That's for sure. But
your sleep and everything.
Yeah. But, so how's that going? How old is she? How old is she now?
We got a little boy.
Oh, little boy.
Little boy.
Okay, yep. Little boy.
We got a little boy, and he is like 10 days. I think today is 10 days old.
Wow. Man.
They're still in that new. They still got that new smell.
Still very new. Still getting used to it. So far, I feel like we were fairly warned. So I think we're pretty pleased so far. Like, it stinks out. We were up like 5 times in the middle of the night every 2 hours. But we're kind of sitting here like, it could have been worse.
It could have been worse. Could have been worse. You could have had twins. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Congratulations to you. And, she's, your wife is, we've got to meet her a couple of times down there. So she seems like a real sweetheart as well. So good things are happening for you. And then you're still, through all this, is, still working on new music, right?
Yes, I've got to get to work on some more new music as well. I'm sitting here in my newly completed recording studio. So I had a recording studio in my house. I think that was in my old house. That's where I did our last interview, but then Caitlin and I needed to move in together, so we got ourselves a new house, and it took me ages to get the studio set up. So I finally got the studio set up and recorded a new song for the first time in a couple years. So that just came out on Friday.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah, and we're very excited to have it. It's called Plenty of Fish, and it's a clever title for a clever song, you know. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and play that, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about how this all came about. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. Plenty of Fish, brand new, hot off the presses from Bryton Stoll. Here we go.
She found me and turned my life around. I was at low tide, now I'm happy to be tied down. They say that there's plenty of fish out there swimming around in the sea, but I don't want any of the fishies swimming right along with me. Got eyes the color of the water. She sparkles in the sun. The odds are 1 in a trillion, and I know she's the one. She's so sophisticated. She loves me for who I am. She sees the pearls, not the oysters. She makes me happy as a clam. They say that there's plenty of fish out there swimming around in the sea, but I don't want any of the fishies swimming right along with me. Well, we made it official. We got married, 'cause I ain't no fool. Now we're feeling so lucky with our little guppy. We got a whole school. They say that there's plenty of fish out there swimming around in the sea, but I don't want any of the fishies swimming right along with me. They say that there's plenty of fish out there swimming around in the sea, but I don't want any of the fishies swimming right along with me. No, I don't want any of the fishies swimming right along with me.
There we go.
Love that.
That's a great song. It's cute.
Yeah, man, that come out good. You know, when I first saw the title and I first saw you talking about it, so I was single for about 9 years or whatever. There used to be this thing called Plenty of Fish out there, right? And you really had to be real careful about what you caught, you know, in the sea. So, you know,
There were sharks out there.
Yeah, they were sharks out there, and you know, the seas were angry that day, you know. But anyway, but obviously you wrote this about your wife, right?
Yeah, in fact, I wrote this with my wife.
Oh, that's great.
We were so like I mentioned, we moved into this house. It took me ages to get the studio set up. That's because we pretty much remodeled the whole thing ourselves.
Right.
And so one night, you know, we were like a Saturday night. We were tired from remodeling all weekend, and I think we actually kind of took the day off, and by like take the day off, I mean we went furniture shopping for the day. So,
Yeah, there are no more off days, by the way. But go ahead.
I know. So we got home, and I was kind of like, what do you think we should do for the rest of the night? Because I'm not going back to the work. You know, it was like 6 o'clock. We got a few hours here, and
Yeah.
kind of tired of like laying on the couch and watching Netflix, like trying to keep my eyes open at the end of the night. So
Sure.
I thought, you know what, maybe we should write a song. And Caitlin was like, I've never written a song before. And I said, it's really not that hard. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I kind of already had the idea for that song. And then she helped me put it all together and helped me come up with some good fish puns.
Yeah.
That was
The rest
cute.
is history.
It was
Very
cute.
nice.
That was cool. So you wrote it all in one night, or?
I think we pretty much had the whole thing done in one night. That doesn't necessarily happen every time, but
Yeah.
I think we had it all done. And then obviously we, the lyrics on the bridge were a little different before because we did not have a guppy. And we recently rewritten the guppy lyrics.
There you go.
That's cute.
Guppy. I like that. I like that. Well, it sounds like who's doing the steel pans on that?
That's John Patty.
John Patty.
Oh,
I thought so. He has a distinct, you hear a lot of steel pans, but he has a distinctive sound with his, and especially upbeat, music. So I was wondering if that was John Patty. So you've been very fortunate since you come onto the scene to work with some pretty cool cats out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got, so like I said, John Patty on the steel drums, and then Donnie Brewer's playing the guitars and some ukulele.
Yeah.
And then I got my brother's always been my drummer, so he's playing the drum set.
Awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, man, I tell you, again, coming onto the scene with, I'm a landlocked sailor, and I'm nowhere close to the ocean or whatever, but I love it, that kind of thing. Since then, you've been able to travel around and do some of these gigs, and so how's the Trop Rock family treating you?
Oh, it's been absolutely incredible, and I'm a little disappointed this year. I'm not getting around near as much as I did last year, of course,
Sure.
but then at the same time, not only have I just been like welcomed with open arms into people's homes all over the country, like going and playing house concerts and stuff, but now with the baby, just getting so much support,
Yeah.
on Facebook and phone calls and texts and stuff from all of those same people. We got people that live across the country, like buying stuff off our Amazon registry.
Oh,
Oh, that's sweet.
that is cool. I mean, it is one big family, and no matter where you go, we're very fortunate to start out in Panama City with our festival we do for the Rendezvous, and it's always like a family reunion. And that's what Meeting the Minds was down in Key West for so many years. You finally got to end the year and see everybody. It was like a family reunion, and we've continued on with that with the showcase. And have you been down to Gulf Shores for Meeting the Minds?
Yeah, yep. I made it down there last year. I'm planning to make it down there again this year, but I haven't actually made any concrete plans at all.
Yeah. Well, it definitely
but
makes it easier for people to get to Meeting the Minds than going down to Key West, right?
It's definitely easier when you're coming from Kansas or Missouri. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. And have you picked up? Have you got a trophy case for all of your awards that you picked up yet?
I've got the one award just sitting on the dresser,
That's good.
so I can see it when I wake up every morning and get that juice going.
Yeah. Well, I've got my sack of nuts here from Tim Campbell, and that's 10 years of doing Trop Rock Radio. That's all I've gotten. But I'm very proud of it. And the hippie chick got one last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
So we don't need a trophy case either, but we're pretty proud of that. So this also gives you a lot of opportunity, maybe not, I don't know, but to think about writing more music if you're taking some more time to be home, right?
That's the goal. I've got a fair amount of songs that need to get recorded. Hopefully this will become a fairly regular thing. I'll actually be releasing some singles and then eventually an album. I don't want to put any dates on anything because we'll see. But yeah, I got the studio ready to go, and now I just need to get it done. I've been doing a little bit more writing. Still need to do even more writing, but yeah, I got some songs that need to get out, and still playing some shows, especially around the Midwest area. I'm just realizing now I need to get this put on Facebook, internet, all that
Yeah.
good stuff. But I've got a really exciting weekend coming up for the 1-year anniversary of Jimmy Buffett's passing, Labor Day weekend, where I'm gonna do some shows with David Baker up in Iowa on that Thursday and
he's
that
fantastic.
Friday. Then a gig here in Kansas City with my full band that is going to be like a big Jimmy Buffett tribute show.
Very
very
Fun,
nice.
yeah.
You know, when Jimmy passed away on Labor Day weekend, that pretty much marked the schedule for every Parrot Head Club in the country, basically, you know, to have some kind of huge event to celebrate the life of Jimmy Buffett on Labor Day. They had a big festival down in Key West when he passed away. That, you know, of course, listen, it's National Potato Week. They're going to have a parade down there, but they threw together a big festival that weekend for Labor Day, and then, you know, they're going to do it every year, supposedly. And, you know, we were talking about, you know, maybe we need to move the showcase to that week, and I'm like, you know, people are very emotional right now. Let's just see how this thing goes. And I said, I also suspect that a lot of people that you're thinking is going to come down to Key West is going to be doing, you know,
A Parrot Head event.
a Parrot Head event on Labor Day weekend. And for everything, you know, for everything that happens, you know, you know, the passing of the torch and keeping the party going has now fully opened the door for the trop rock artists to have all these events. You know, Labor Day weekend. I mean, you should have anywhere to play. You know now.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely. I think, just like you said, I think everyone's, it'll be tough to make plans on Labor Day because there are a lot of plans on Labor Day. I know, I think probably every Parrot Head Club's got one. I know one of the bigger ones is up in Louisville. And I really wanted to play at that one, but I thought it was just a little too far away with the new baby.
Yeah. Is that the Bluegrass Parrot Head Club?
That probably, I think it is that Kentucky-based Parrot Head Club, but don't quote me on that. But
Yeah.
they've got a crazy good lineup. So
they
check
used-
it out, unless you're going to come to my shows in Iowa.
There you go.
of course.
Well, I think there may be a couple of them up there, but I remember the Bluegrass Parrot Head Club because they were a very large club, and every year at Rendezvous, they would win the award for the largest club that was present. You know, so it's kind of cool there. But you mentioned house concerts, and I've always told people that come into this trop rock community that house concerts are really the bread and butter of the whole thing. If you're new and you want to get your name out there, you want people to know who you are and what you're about and get your music out, there's no better way to do it than a house concert.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, there's two, you know, it's if you want to break it down that simply, I feel like there's two really great things about trop rock. Like, one, it's tropical, and two, even, you know, it doesn't even necessarily have to do with the tropicalness, but like just the community and the house concerts.
Yeah.
I think every genre of music in the world should be doing house concerts, just like trop rock does.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be tropical. It could be country or folk or rock, whatever. But yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And so I think the way to get into the trop rock world is through, you know, kind of try and get your name out there with folks like you guys. And that's why, you know, I appreciate you letting me come on the show so much. Get the name out there to start with on the radio shows that go, you know, countrywide, and then take it to the house concerts and let people, you know, actually get to know you in person. Yeah.
And you really have to explain to people the difference between house concerts and house parties, you know. And, you know, when I've had them here, you know, I'm like, listen, this is a house concert, meaning you're going to shut the hell up and listen to the artist because they want to tell you the story behind this song or whatever, you know. It's not a party out at the tiki bar. That's a whole different vibe, you know, but it's always important, and God bless the people who do house concerts all the time because it's stressful, man. Is the weather going to be okay? Is everybody going to show up? I mean, you know, if you have a lot of people that are supposed to be there and they're not showing up, you're pissed. You're like, man, I want a big crowd, you know, for this artist. It's a lot of stress. So God bless them for opening up their homes and doing it.
Absolutely. That's the other thing I've thought a lot about the house concert situation, and I'm like, These shows are better for the artist because we have people that actually want to listen to our original music. You know, honestly, we probably get paid better than we would at normal venues. It's better for the artist. I think it's better for the crowd. If I was going to a concert, I would rather sit in someone's backyard with a cooler of my beer and hang out and listen to good music. So it's better for the concert goer. It's better for the artist. And I'm like, how is this even possible? And it's because the venue is, you know, the people who own the house concerts is the one. They're the ones making the sacrifices. They got to, you know, clean up after us and do all the social media, you know, and for the most part, they're not getting paid anything. They're just doing it for fun. And that's the difference between a real venue and a house concert is that, you know, if you go to a bar, they need to make their cut.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing Margaritaville in Las Vegas or something, you know, there's just people coming and going. They might be listening, they might not. You know, I mean, you're there. It's for the background of the place that you're playing at. You know, Johnny's Mexican restaurant or whatever. You know, but a house concert, those people are particularly coming to see you, and they want to support you. And hopefully you can sell some T-shirts and some CDs, and they also, there's always somebody that says, hey, we come down from Knoxville, Tennessee. We'd love to get you up to our place, that kind of thing, you know. So, you know, you might pick up more gigs.
Happens a lot, kind of the word of mouth thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, back to the new music. Are you wanting to do like a full CD, or you want to do like an EP, or you just want to do singles?
The plan is to get to a full album eventually. I just don't know how long it will take. So until then, you know, I'd like to keep releasing things regularly. So it might just mean singles for now, but you know, hopefully eventually that builds itself up into an album. You know, we'll see. Maybe by the time I release an album, you'll already have heard half the songs.
Sure.
We'll see what happens.
I think that's pretty standard. You know, I mean, the largest bands in the world do the same thing now. They used to not release singles. They would release an album and then release a single on that album, you know, like you could only buy these three. And that was kind of like to get you to buy the whole album, right? That kind of thing. But, you know, an album that has 10, 12, 15 songs on it, some of those songs might get lost in the because of the world we're living in from a downloading standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I think it, especially back in the day, it made sense to like keep releasing singles after the album's out. Nowadays, it always seems a little strange to me when folks do that. Especially like the big artists. I get it. You know, with the big artists, what they're doing is they're releasing it to radio, not just as it comes out as a single. But I'm looking at it on Spotify like I've heard this song already on your album. 5 times. Why would I listen to the single now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, what about that? I mean, do you have physical CDs from Landlocked Sailor that you still sell?
Yep, I sure do. In fact, I have way too many. So you know, if anyone's interested, let me know.
Well, that kind of brings us to our next step. How can people really follow you and know what's going on with you as far as what house concert venue you're going to be at and buy your music? How can they follow you?
Yeah, you can start with BrytonStoll.com, and that'll give you links to all my social media. I use Facebook and Instagram. I have been pretty off of social media for the last several months, but trying to get back on it. So yeah, you can also just search me on Facebook, Facebook and Instagram. It's all just at Bryton Stoll. On Facebook, it's Bryton Stoll Music, or you know, add me as a friend. I might forget to add you back, though. So if you want to be sure you get in there, follow Bryton Stoll Music.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. You know, and I think, you know, as an artist, you continually evolve into the next stage of your music writing. And that really goes along with life. You know, when, you know, your son is born, that kind of changes perspective of how you look at things. And as you get older, things do that as well. I mean, have you felt like your writing style has changed at all, or are you just still locked into that I want to get to the beach kind of guy?
I think my writing style has changed a bit, but I think my writing topics have changed a lot.
Yeah.
If you I imagine that when you when this next album finally comes out and you listen to the songs, you will if you listened to Landlocked Sailor and then whatever the new album is back to back, you would realize like, oh yeah, those are Bryton's single songs, and then these are Bryton's relationship family songs. Imagine that, huh? So I think the writing muses are changing more than anything.
I love the donkey song.
Yeah, the donkey song is good. That's always a popular one when he's playing on stage. That's for sure.
As I kind of piece together the next album, it seems like it's like half and half of like half the songs are like like a personal experience that that's just like about my wife or maybe about my baby. Yeah. And then the other half of the songs is just fun ideas.
That's good.
Well, one of the things we always like to point out here at Tiki Man Radio is that, we go by coastal Americana. So we're a genre, it's kind of like a genre-free radio. All right. So we're going to have some country. We're going to have some blues. We're going to have some rock. We're going to have some trop rock, all blended in there for a happy environment, But a lot of artists think, well, if it doesn't say margarita on the beach, you don't send it to us. What I'm saying is, if you get to where you want to write some country songs, we got tropical country sitting here, and we can get you on his show, that kind of thing, And if you want to write a blues show, we can do that. A blues song, we can do that as well. So don't ever hesitate sending us any kind of music because we're a big fan of yours.
You got it. Yeah, absolutely. Will do.
All right. All right. Bryton Stoll, everybody. We really appreciate you taking time. I know, you probably got 3 hours sleep last night with the new baby, and, it is what it is,
Go take a nap.
Yeah.
I think I will.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for having me on, guys.
Absolutely. We'll cut this out, and I'll send it to you after the show. And we're gonna go away with put me in because it seems like you've been put in. All right, so take it easy, brother. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Bryton Stoll, everybody. Here we go.